I am really excited for this conversation. I've talked to Toby before, but I would like to introduce anybody watching and listening to Toby Hung. Toby is the co-founder and COO of OneFort, and I was so impressed with what Toby showed me months ago before OneFort was even a Catalyit partnership, which we really appreciate. I was so impressed with what you all were doing that I was sending commercial lines agents your way because what they were saying on the calls I was having were immediately addressed by what I knew you guys could already do. And that was a few months ago. So I'm excited for this conversation here, what you're doing now, what agents are doing, and how AI is helping them. Toby, thank you so much for giving us some time. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe the elevator pitch for OneFort?
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to be on here. And before we even dive in, Casey, really appreciate the great work that you guys and Catalyt are doing for agencies everywhere, helping them understand technology better and just growing their agencies by innovating and being more tech forward. So definitely appreciate that. I am the co-founder and chief operating officer of OneForts. We're an AI solution, an all-in-one solution for commercial insurance agencies. And our mission is pretty simple. We help agencies 10x their revenue without having to 10x their headcount. So, in other words, we want to help them close more in less time. So, do more with less. And the way that we do that is with our AI powered solution. And there's a variety of different use cases that we can get into. But really, the main thing that I want to call out is we help automate a lot of the manual, repetitive, time consuming activities for agencies. We know there's just so much time, so many hours being spent on things that aren't really revenue generating, right? Like logging into different carrier portals, having to get quotes, compare coverage, create proposals, generating invoices and payment links and all that. So the idea of OneFort is to automate all of that so you never have to spend a minute doing that manual work. A lot of AI these days is around helping people be more efficient. One of the big focuses is also helping agencies make more money. We help agencies cross-sell and upsell on autopilot so they can grow their revenue across their existing book. There's ways that we help them maximize and boost their commissions as well. So that's just a quick overview of what we're doing here at OneForts. We work with agencies all across the country, regardless of their size. We've been around for a couple of years. We're backed by over $10 million in venture funding. We're here to work more closely with agencies within Catalyt, but also outside the Catalyt. Excited for the conversation.
Sure. One of the things I like to ask, especially somebody in your position, is was there a light bulb moment? What sparked you down the path of building? You're the co-founder, right? What pain point or event really triggered you down this road to get to where you are now?
Yeah, and that's a good question. Talked to so many agencies over the last couple of years. This was not the first idea that we came up with when we started at OneForts. We went through a couple pivots, but from so many conversations with hundreds of agencies across the country about their pain points, one of the important things for us was just to be listeners, be empathetic to what agents were telling us, because I think there's a lot of providers out there that throw out solutions and features that don't really address a lot of the actual pain points that agencies are suffering. So we made sure to spend as much time as we could listening to agencies out there and having them as design partners to build with us and make sure we're building the right features. I think the light bulb moments that we really had was when OpenAI came out with ChatGPT 2 or so years ago. That was really a big aha moment. I'm sure it was for a lot of technology companies out there. But what we really saw was this once in a generation opportunity to take a lot of manual, time consuming activities for agencies and really bring that down from having them spend dozens of hours a week every on these activities to bring that down to zero, helping them streamline workflows, transform their entire agency operations using AI. A very key insight for us was wanting to build not point solutions, but wanting to build this all-in-one AI solution for agencies. We talked to so many agents who were using point solutions here and there, and some of them were AI powered. They would have to go into different portals, one that was for quoting, one that was for creating a proposal, one that was for payments. And we realized, especially for smaller agencies, there's just not a whole lot of bandwidth to be working with 5 or 10 different vendors out there. And especially for at the desk level for account managers, one insight we found was if you give them too many solutions, they're not going to end up using any of them. They're going to be overloaded. That was when we decided to really make OneFort all in one, all encompassing. We automate the entire process for account managers from submitting cross carrier portals to getting quotes back, auto generating that coverage comparison and a white label proposal, even auto generating the payment link and the invoices. So we really do take care of the entire process as opposed to just point solution addressing different parts of the process. And yeah, I would say that's what makes us a little bit different. That's a bit of that aha moments that we had was when we heard from agents that they don't want just another portal to log into that does one thing for them. They want something that does as much as possible. And finally, with AI, we're able to actually address the entire process as opposed to one step of the puzzle. So yeah, I would say that's a bit of the aha moment for us.
So in terms of actual use case implementation, if I'm an agency owner, or maybe I'm a big time commercial producer, just a commercial producer, where does one Fort come into the process? So I'm out knocking doors, I'm out networking, and I find a great lead. What's one of the first things I'm going to do leveraging one Fort that's going to make this process easier? Once I've found that lead, is that the next step is to go to one Fort? How does that work?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll talk through two use cases for new business and for renewals. For new businesses, we have an automated way for you to gather information from your lead. We have links that we can share with your lead. We automatically gather the information from them instead of you having to find the best PDF and send it over to them and this go back and forth. So we collect all the information. We automate the process. Once all the information's on there, we automatically get it out to all the markets that you want to quote with, either your direct markets, or we also provide some market access, especially on the specialty lines side of things. We'll get all the quotes back. It's all on autopilot. So your account manager is not going to have to manually submit the information. Once we get the quotes back, the idea is to get you a high quality proposal that you can share with the lead and get them to that bind order as quickly as possible. So the proposal that we generate can actually increase the likelihood of a
Okay.
deal closing. There's an AI powered analysis on there. There's coverage comparisons. It's very customized to your agency as well. So I would say for new businesses, it's a super streamlined process of getting you that proposal so that you can actually just get the bind order, get that deal done. For renewals, we do a lot more with automating the process. No one wants to spend too much time on renewals. We don't need you to log in and plug in information and remarket if you need to. We plug into your existing tools and data structures, and we don't have to get too into the weeds about what that looks like, but we can plug into where all the information that you already have about your insured, about your existing book. We take that, we automatically help you with getting the renewal quotes. We compare it with the expiring and that proposal. If you want to remarket, we automatically remarket for you with any carriers you want. We go to those portals on your behalf with our AI agents. We pull in quotes. So we can automate the renewal process as well for you because we know there's just so many manual tasks revolved around renewals. Yeah, long story short, whether it's a new business or renewal, all the producer has to do is have that conversation with the insured, but everything when it comes to collecting data, getting quotes, creating that proposal, we'll take care of all of that behind the scenes on autopilot.
I don't recall any conversation earlier when you and I talked a few months ago about renewal. So that's exciting. I'm already looking forward to the demo that we're going to book for Catalyit members to see live. And I'm bookmarking that in my brain that I want to see that renewal part. That's a huge pain point for commercial agents.
Absolutely. And I think the status quo just isn't really working for them. A lot of manual work. There's so many PDFs floating back and forth over email, whereas we actually automate all of that intake and the quoting for you as well. There's a lot of comparative raters that are out there that do maybe 20% of the work, but there's still 80% of it that you have to do manually. Whereas with our AI platform, the goal is to actually do 100% of it for you. So you don't even have to log into our portal. We do have a platform for agencies, but because we're so integrated with your existing workflows, we can automatically capture data and help you get something quoted. So it's different from a rater. It's not like you have to even come into our portal and plug things in manually and click here and there. We still have that for you if you want, but really the goal is to automate everything from end to end.
Okay, awesome. I do want to go back to something you said earlier about cross-selling too. In the personal line space, everybody probably has a home and an auto or renters and an umbrella, and then people have boats and investment properties. It's not cookie cutter, but it's fairly well defined. With commercial, there can be a GL and a premises and a finished products and E&O. So how does One Fort help an agency who maybe has an existing commercial client or is bringing in a new commercial prospect cross-sell all those other lines of business?
That's a great question because I think with so many commercial accounts, people just don't know what they don't know. They're coming to you as the insurance advisor to understand what coverages they should be buying. We realize, especially with a lot of these newer coverages like cyber, DNO, EPL, it's not always easy to explain that to a client. And sometimes you don't even know who's the best fit for it. So what we do is take your existing book, we automatically help you flag which accounts are high priority or have a high likelihood of being interested in other products. we can get you indications automatically based on the profile of that account. We show you a list of your prospects or existing accounts, all the businesses you might have interacted with. We'll show you what they currently have, and we'll even show you not necessarily just cross-selling coverages, but even upselling higher limits. We'll show you they currently have, let's say, $1 million in coverage for a property, but based on our understanding of their application and all these third-party data that we're pulling into OneFort, they should probably be getting a $2 million limit instead. So we'll flag that. We'll show it to you on the
Mhm.
portal. Hey, this is an opportunity. You should probably be upselling this client and having that conversation. We'll even surface talking points for you. This is a rationale that you can bring up to the clients for why they should purchase a higher limit. And for cross-selling, we'll show you whenever possible, we'll show you an indication. And it's easier for some coverages. For cyber, super easy for us to get you a quick price point. Like, hey, for this client, cyber might be $1,000 for them. So definitely have that conversation with them. Here are some talking points. Here's the risk profile based on their website and some third-party data we can pull in. So we make it as easy as 1, 2, 3 to cross-sell or upsell to clients. You don't even have to come into our portal and click around. We automatically generate those insights based on our integrations with your existing workflows. We know so much about your clients already, so we can tell
Mhm.
these are some opportunities and how you should have that conversation. And there's a lot of tools we built out. We basically help a lot of folks cross-sell and run these campaigns on autopilot.
So you're all fully embedded with AI. And I can just tell by talking to you that you'd be able to teach me a ton of stuff. Because AI is a big part of what you leverage, agents can be on a spectrum. There are some agents all in doing great automated stuff with AI, and then some that maybe haven't experimented with it at all and have some anxiety about it. Are you talking to agents on both ends of the spectrum and everywhere in between? What are you learning from talking to those agents about how they're experiencing or talking about AI and what they want to do in their agencies?
Yeah, that is a really good question and definitely something that we have plenty of conversations with agencies about, especially those newer to using AI. It's this buzzword out there. They're not sure how they should be using it, but there's two things that I'll call out, especially for agency owners or leaders, thinking about why AI might be a good fit or might not be a good fit for them. The first thing I'll say is there's never been a time where technology like AI can help level the playing field a little more, right? Especially with what's going on in the industry, there's so much consolidation. It seems like the big guys are getting bigger, right? They're backed by billions of dollars in private equity funding and they're buying more. There's so much M&A happening as well. And if you're an independent agency owner, you're probably thinking, how do I catch up to some of those bigger guys? How am I able to stand out from some of those bigger shops? And obviously, there's so much that independent agents do that are, in all honesty, probably better for clients than some of the bigger shops out there. AI can have an opportunity for you to transform your agency and compete with those bigger shops. What I mean by that is a lot of the things that used to be limited to bigger operations that have more people, they have more resources, more budget, you can actually do as an agent now because of AI. So things like being able to access a lot of markets in one go as opposed to having to do it manually, being able to create super high quality proposals that before AI, you would have to spend so many hours on it. You'd probably have to hire a whole team to
Mhm.
make those proposals. Now you can actually create Marsh level proposals on autopilot. And that's what we've been doing for a lot of our agencies. We've been helping them compete with the bigger players without necessarily having to hire too much or spend too much on technology. AI is just really helping, I'd say, level the playing field and make it easy for smaller agencies to catch up these days. So I just wanted to call that out real quick. But second thing I'll really quickly mention is AI is also a way for you to improve, or rather to decrease turnover at the agency. I think there's something that's top of mind for a lot of agencies. There's so much turnover happening, right? There's a lot of folks that are bouncing around agencies. They're not spending too much time at agencies anymore. And especially for this newer generation, right? Especially for millennials, for Gen Z, they're no longer staying at the same employer for long. They're bouncing around. And we see AI and technology as a way for you to, improve the experience for your brokers, reduce burnouts for them as well. Because the likelihood is that they're already using AI in some way in their personal lives. If you're not giving them that experience within the agency, if you're still giving them manual work, if you're still having them use outdated technology at the agency, chances are they're going to be burnt out. They're not going to have the best experience. They might end up moving elsewhere. What we always tell agency owners that we work with is that if you want to reduce turnover, get the best employees on your team and make sure they stick around and produce high quality work, you're going to have to provide them with AI tools. Sooner or later, they're going to be outside of the workplace, and you're going to want to make sure they can use it at your office as well. So we'll call out, just talk about AI at a high level with agency owners. This is what we do day in, day out. So we'd definitely love to have more of those conversations with any agency owners here that, yeah, we're interested in AI, but not exactly sure how they want to implement it. Because I get it. It can be scary. It can be overwhelming. So we're here to
Mhm.
make sure it's an easy transition or implementation.
Yeah. I love that idea that the way you put that and the way I heard it was you want to be the employer of choice to a degree, right? You don't want to bring people on and then have them think like the place I left was doing X, Y, and Z and this place isn't using any of it. That could really hurt your ability to bring on good people. And no matter
Yeah.
what, we're going to need great people in agencies, no matter what technology does. So, yeah, that's great perspective. We're coming up on time, but I always like to ask at the end of these, what are you excited about? What gets you amped up and ready to nerd out on something? Something that maybe One Fort's working on, if you can share it. And if not, it could just be industry wide. Like what are you excited about that's coming down the line?
Yeah, there's so much that we're excited for. One thing to circle back to what I mentioned earlier is that there's a lot of great ecosystem partners like Catalyit that are helping agencies just understand technology better. It seems like every day more and more agencies are open to trying out new technologies like AI. So we're super pumped for that. We're in a once in a generation opportunity where technology can really amplify what brokers are doing. It's really exciting to be in the industry overall. Within OneFort, there's a lot of exciting things we're building out within the product. So for the product demo, we're definitely excited to share more about the roadmap and how we're incorporating our agency's feedback into our products. But gee, there's so many things that we're expanding into, things that are a bit more in the near future, things that might be a couple months or maybe even half a year out. But yeah, I would say overall, we're excited to be part of the ecosystem, excited to bring on more agencies. We've seen growth in the past couple of months. We've seen growth that we've never anticipated at all, just a year or even 2 years prior. So yeah, we're excited to keep growing. We're excited to meet a lot of agencies in person as well. We're going to a lot of events that I'm sure you guys will be at as well. So yeah, we're excited to meet more people, get them to start using AI overall. I think we're excited to help more agencies improve their operations and grow their books efficiently using AI.
Okay. Awesome. I appreciate your time. And this has been a great conversation. I look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks when we're both up in Oregon at their Big I event. And yeah, really appreciate your partnership. And I'm excited to see the demo here in the next couple weeks. So thanks for all that, Toby.
Yeah, thanks a ton, Casey. Likewise, I appreciate the time.